Again, Iowa knows zone coverage and pass defense, okay? And Riley Moss is part of that. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master of Football, back at it again. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be updated on all things college football, pro football, Madden, EA college football, the NFL draft, anything related to American football, hit the red subscribe button. You'll not be disappointed. Also hit the like button too. Again, like, subscribe. Okay, we're close to 1,000. 833 at this point. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, and college football, like you said, college football, it's just coming into March. It's a little bit slow. There's not much going on here. We do have some spring games coming up, so spring games is going to be fire because I am definitely going to be paying attention to a lot of spring games out there. However, right now, the only thing that's going on is people are just talking about academic rankings and association and research status, and it's switching from the Pac-12 to the Big 12 and the Big 12. Give me something to work with here, okay? It's so boring. It's the same conversation 17 times in a row. It's people debating as to whether or not they're talking about, the status of somebody's university versus status of somebody in a conference. It's boring. So I want to talk about a huge, huge story because there is a potentially, and again, the person hasn't gotten to the NFL yet, but there is something that we're going to see that is a relic of the past. And I'll let my boy Shane Gillis describe what we're talking about here.
White cornerbacks. You understand how preposterous that is?
We are talking about potentially a white cornerback in the NFL. Now, remember here, a couple years ago, Troy Apke came out to the combine, was a track guy, really, really ran well at the combine. Ultimately, they moved to safety, and he's been kind of around a couple different places. Whether or not he's been at a corner, we'll see. There's another guy, potentially, okay, for us non-melanated folk, who is our member of the Obscure Prospect series. He's not very obscure because whenever you're talking a white cornerback, he's going to be famous just on the fact that nobody ever sees a white cornerback. But we're talking about my boy, Riley Moss. So little old Riley Moss from Ankeny, Iowa, class of 2018, enrolled at Iowa in 2018 as well. So 6 foot 175, had offers from North Dakota State, South Dakota State, North Dakota, Northern Illinois, and Iowa. So he had 2 FBS offers, one from basically he took the best offer that he had. He's from Iowa. He stayed there, and he really blossomed when he went over to the Hawkeyes. So Riley Moss, senior, 6'1", 193, and again went to high school in Centennial. Okay, the local boy comes out here, and he came back for his 5th year. He's going to be 23 in a couple days from now, actually, as a matter of fact. So during his rookie season, he was going to be 23 years old. He is ranked second in career interception return yards. Shares Big Ten record with 2 interception returns in a game. He's a very, very highly touted, one of 3 true freshmen to not redshirt in 2018, one of 12 true freshmen to see action in 2018. So he is, again, 2022, he was a permanent team captain, Team Hustle Award, this and that, second team All Big Ten by the AP, Jim Thorpe Award preseason watch list, Bednarik Award preseason watch list, Walter Camp Award preseason watch list. So he is definitely sought after, and you see the fact that his stats were pretty good too. So coming over to his stats here, we're talking about, again, like I said, so he played 5 years, and 2020 was a shortened season, so he only had a couple games there. But still, at the same time, you look at what he's done: 2 interceptions in 18, 19, and 24 in 2021. 2 brought back for touchdowns in one game, and 2 of those in one game. And then he had 1 interception this year, 11 passes defended. I will let you know, and we're going to actually go through some of his other stats, because this is just stats in terms of pass deflections, interceptions, interception yards, and touchdowns. There's more that goes on to cornerback. Cornerback is almost like, pass rusher. There's more ways you impact the game than just necessarily intercepting the ball or breaking up passes. So let's get into some of those stats brought by Pro Football Focus. So looking at his stats according to Pro Football Focus, he's got some strong areas and some weaker areas. So as an example, so he allows 47% completion percentage, which is really, really low. He had 65 targets in 2022 and gave up 352 yards. In 2021, he had 43 targets and gave 407 yards. So he had more targets this next year in 2022, and he gave up 50 less yards. So if you look at his stats too, you'll also see the fact that his average depth of target is 12.5 yards downfield. That's tied for 346th in the country. That's not great, but when you watch the stats, People just like never really try him. They basically only shoot deep balls on him. You do not throw it short against him because he's probably going to pick you off. They occasionally will try him deep, but for the most part, man, he's played 775 reps at outside corner, 10 in the slot, 24 on defensive line, 71 in the box. He's played all over. But for the most part, if people try him, they try and go deep on him. You watch the Iowa State game, people try and go deep on him. But for the most part, they chuck it deep. If they throw it short, he is really, really instinctive about getting after the ball. So coming over here to break down his NFL.com profile, you're able to see kind of some of the things that you saw in the stats right there that I just mentioned. So first of all, let's just go down here and kind of break this down. The director of scouting for the NFC team says, I know people are going to want to move him to safety, but he has legit corner talent. Just stick him in zone and let him play there. And you can see that in terms of what he has from his film and what it says right here. So he's snagged 11 picks since 2018, played 2,600 snaps. He's explosive vertical leaper to challenge balls. He's efficient responses to the throw from bail technique. So again, off zone, really, really good at coming up. Communicates effectively when passing off routes from zone. The Iowa defense, remember, Iowa is really, really good at pass defense. Well positioned when defending high-low route concepts. Well built and hits more like a safety than a cornerback in run support. You see the fact that some people are like, oh, he's white, maybe you got to move him back. But it looks like he's going to be a zone corner. Has experience and talent for a variety of jobs on special teams. So basically, you bring him in, he's going to be really solid. Might never be that number one corner out there that's locking people down in man-to-man coverage, but is a very, very good guy that you can bring on the team, and he's going to be an adequate member of zone coverage. His weaknesses, he can be stemmed out on coverage position by hard fakes, unable to find sudden burst to make up ground, can be late to turn and find the football downfield, gets lost on multi-breaking routes, has issues slipping in his plant and drive from the top of his drive, needs to elevate his entry point as a tackler. So this one right here has issues slipping and plant and drive from the top of his drop. So again, people target him deeper. Mostly it's just fades, but for the most part, like he's can be late to turn and find the football downfield. You kind of see that kind of come up in the film here because people either throw it deep on him or they don't throw it to him because underneath he's dominant in zone coverage. And I want to make sure I include this link in here. This is to California Highlights. This is his 2021 highlights, kind of projecting him for this next season. He is, I'm telling you, it's kind of boring watching his highlights. The pick sixes are cool. He's very solid. He's a good team defensive guy. Is he a number one corner in lockdown man coverage? Probably not, but I'm telling you, a zone corner in a zone heavy system, he is going to be, he could probably start pretty soon. And one of the guys I feel like he most adequately represents, and he's the closest to in terms of his pro comp, they had Ross Cockrell. I don't disagree with that, but I want to go down here and talk about our boy Casey Hayward. Casey Hayward played for the Raiders a couple years ago, and he can diagnose plays to be in position from the get-go. He will be physical and reacting to pass plays and has the speed to recover for extended periods of time in man coverage. He's a lanky player, reliable tackler. He's a smooth athlete, but not very quick twitch. Kind of the same thing with Riley Moss. Again, towards the end of his career, when Casey Hayward played for the Raiders, he was a kind of a zone corner, one of the better corners in the NFL. You're not going to have him play man-to-man and put him on an island. You're going to have him play zone, and he's going to be really, really solid with him. Riley Moss kind of fits that mold too. Listen, man, it's crazy. White corner. Okay, he's got an opportunity. Okay, he is the newest member of the Obscure Prospect Series. Now, again, he's obscure, but he's a white corner, so he's not going to be obscure. But I want to make sure I put him on there. Also, shout out to all the people I know from Iowa. Iowa people are really, really cool. Again, Iowa knows zone coverage and pass defense. Okay, and Riley Moss is part of that. I'm interested to see where he goes, but again, probably a zone heavy scheme. We'll see what happens because the combine's this next week, so he's going to be there. I'm probably going to run the high 4.5s. Wouldn't be surprised if he has a 38, 39, 40-inch vertical, but we'll see, man. All right, guys, get in the comments right now. What do you guys think of Riley Moss? Am I overplaying it just because he's my non-melanated brother? Get in the comments right now and let me know what you think of him. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do that, and you guys have yourself a good day. I'll see you guys later. I am out.